This week on Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, we talk about our Mission Chicago Star Trek convention experience. We'll also talk about Picard's second season, episode 6, 2 of 1. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Johnson.
Hi, Mike.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay, I think. I mean, other than having to coach you on multiple takes of our new intro.
Here we go. Lord.
I'm good. How are you? How are you doing? It's so hot today in New York.
It was not hot. 64 degrees is not hot.
No, it was 68.
Yeah.
When I was like stalking you.
4 degrees raise it to the hot factor.
It was so warm.
Anyway, I'm fine. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
I'm fully recovered from the convention. So that's
I'm relatively recovered. Yeah.
Back in the mode of work. It's a busy week at work.
It is so busy. I'm like drowning. It's insane. But
don't expect me to throw you a life jacket because I'll just let you drown.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm kind of like, when will the toil and suffering be over? That is life, but here we are. It hasn't ended yet. Still here.
Nope. And you know what? You're gonna live to be 100, and I am going to revel in every moment of that. Because then I'll be 109. So
are you gonna die before me or after?
Oh no, I don't know. I think you'll outlive us all, just because you want it to end so badly that I think that you're just gonna stick around forever.
I'm always ready.
Yeah,
perpetually ready. Just make it fast.
Anyway, it's mid-April. We're only a couple weeks away from more new Star Trek. We're in the middle of Picard, but we went to Chicago for a convention, our first official Star Trek convention.
Yes, first official one, second overall, but correct, our first official Star Trek convention.
And what a difference an official convention makes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we were complaining about the organization of the convention leading up to it. I do still think that they can do a better job. They could have done a better job, and they could do a better job in the future. But overall, I think that they pulled it together. It came together at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that there was some shakeups at Reed Pops, so that sort of caused the chaos. We weren't convinced that there was going to be a decent convention to go to, but it turned out pretty well, I think.
Yeah, no, I thought it turned out well overall. I mean, it does make a huge difference to have the official Star Trek brand, obviously. Surprisingly, that makes the difference. And also having officially sanctioned from Paramount gives them access to content and to props and to all the talent, obviously. So that definitely made a difference in terms of how it felt. Because the Vegas one last year was just, I know we complained about it. It was just like the branding was weird. They kind of made up their own shit. We were like, what is this? So
yeah, we were kind of unexperienced convention goers too. We didn't really know anybody. We ended up meeting up with some of the other people on the network. There were only 6 of us there total. So the other 4 people we met up on Friday night for drinks and got to know them, but that was our first meeting of them. So that was definitely a highlight for that convention. But this one, it was great to see so many of our network people there. It was great to have the official stuff from Paramount. So we got three special little treats. which I think have all been subsequently released to the internet. So, um,
Have they? I mean, we
no,
got.
actually, no. The Strange New World stuff has not been released to the internet.
Yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah, we got a glimpse at the first bridge scene of Strange New Worlds, and that was not released. And then we also got that little bit from Prodigy too, that little scene between
Oh,
Janeway and
right,
Chakotay.
right. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. That hasn't been
Yeah,
released. And now that we think about it,
during the commissioning scene of the Prodigy. Oh, sorry, no,
and also
the
we get to
Protostar.
see
Sorry,
a scene from Lower Decks that's not released yet either.
right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we did get some exclusives, which were really cool. And we're not going to tell anybody about.
I mean, nothing like earth, or, nothing earth shattering, but I think that
Yeah.
it was still kind of cool. We can talk
There's like
about
that.
it. We're just not allowed to like film it and show it.
Right, right, right. Yeah, no, no, no. I'm kidding. But yeah, let's start with let's just go through the weekend a little bit.
Yeah,
Friday kicked off with Will Wheaton, who I thought was really great.
yeah, he's good.
Um, I'm a huge fan, as we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm. I'm a
And
moderate
then
fan.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then what else did we get on Friday? We got that, and then
Well, there were
um,
no the show panels were Saturday and Sunday, so that
right, right, right.
was we had one other panel. Oh, it was the LGBTQ meetup. Wasn't that Friday?
Oh yeah, the collective. That was a good one. Yeah. Oh, and we saw
That was
Doug
Friday.
Jones. Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That
So yeah,
was
we
that
did
was
see.
okay. That was fine.
Yeah, he's such a great storyteller. That was, he's so gracious and so fan friendly. And yeah, and later on that day, actually, I got to meet him in person, and it was just me and him, and it was great
Mm-hmm.
because his table had kind of emptied. He was actually supposed to be with the Discovery crew doing photos, so it was late to that, but because their handler never came and got them.
Right.
So I had a few
Yeah,
minutes
because
myself.
you got your photo and autograph with Will Wheaton and Doug. Was
And
that
Doug, yeah,
all
and Doug
Friday?
Jones. Yeah. Yeah, those are both Friday.
Oh
Friday was a
wow.
great day. I was very, very happy with Friday. I loved Friday. Uh, yeah, it was really, when I went to bed Friday night, I was like, I don't think that I was on the high. I thought that that was an excellent day, and there was no way that Saturday or Sunday was going to top it. And truthfully, they didn't really.
Mm.
I got to meet and talk to Will Wheaton at his table. Um, so that was really cool. I had him sign Just the Geek. Uh, Stupidly, I saw his new book at the
Right.
table,
Uh-huh.
not at his table, at the bookstore
And
that was there.
the book
Yeah,
pop up, whatever you call it.
yeah, it's the bookstore pop up, and I really should have grabbed it, and I'm kicking myself repeatedly for not doing that. But I did get my copy that I had pre-ordered from Amazon. I've also been listening to the audiobook, so and it's really good. His I love him as a narrator, so I can't wait to talk to him in the future. Fingers crossed. And so that was really cool. And then I got a picture with him. And the first picture I messed up, and I get to go back and do a second one. And the second one was much better, although it was a little dark. But still, I got a
I
picture
thought
with
your
him.
photos came out well.
Yeah, the Will Wheaton one is just kind of dark overall, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, so that was exciting. And then I was just walking away after that, and I looked over and I saw Doug Jones's table, and um, no, one person was there talking to him, and I was like, I guess I'll go over and talk to him since he's over there, just talking to one person. And so I picked out a picture of Saru as captain, which he signed, and I
Mm-hmm.
also got some selfies with him, which were really cool. He was just so friendly, and I reminded him that I had interviewed him in Hawaii,
Right.
and so it was really cool. And then I posted the photos, and he actually responded to me on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Thanks for it was so nice to meet you," and said some really nice things. And so Um,
What do you
yeah,
say?
I
You're
mean,
such a kind soul, Mike. Such a kind
yes,
soul.
I'm a kind soul. Yes,
Yeah,
I am a.
so kind, so kind.
I am a kind soul. So
If he
yes,
said that about me, that would be a lie. I'd be like, whatever, fucker. JK.
yes, yes. We have an inside joke about you not being a light,
No, I'm
but
not.
we
I'm
won't
not a
go
light.
into that. You are
That's
not a
definitely an
light.
inside joke.
Um. So yeah, I went home that or went back to our hotel room
Home.
that night, and I was like, this was just the best day meeting Will Wheaton, meeting Doug Jones in person, which it had been 10 months since I interviewed him from the roof deck of the hotel in Hawaii I was staying
Mm-hmm.
at, and so I was impressed that he remembered, and it was really cool. So I was just on a high. I mean, that was a great day. That was, I thought, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Saturday's gonna beat that. It really didn't, but I mean, there were some good things about Saturday, but I was just, yeah, I was really happy with that. And then, yeah, then we had where did we go for? Oh, we went to a Pisano's for dinner that night, which was just a short walk from the hotel. And I had deep dish pizza, and
Correct.
you had
I was
some
like, what did we
champagne.
do?
And
That is correct.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to the market, and on the way out of the market, this woman accosted, not accosted. That's definitely too strong of a word. I mean, I had smiled at her like a nice person would in the thing. She was clearly high and or drunk or whatever. And then she like gave us both hugs and kisses on the street. I was
I was like,
very cool.
sure, okay.
Yeah. So all right, thanks Chicago. So yeah, I mean Friday was a great day, and then so Saturday we get up. Again, thankfully there is a Starbucks. There is both a
Oh my
Starbucks
god,
and like
I
a
didn't realize you were gonna go through like our itinerary in such
Oh
detail,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's I'm
including
just
our grocery shopping. But sure.
well, that just came to mind. I was thinking about Friday. I'm telling you, I really loved Friday. Friday was one of the great days of my life, I will say.
Oh my god,
Um, yeah. What do you mean? You can have
that's
great
a
days. I
lot.
can have many great days.
One
No,
of the great
I
days of your
had a
life.
great day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I admire Will Wheaton so much for so many different things. And
Mm-hmm.
so meeting and talking to him, and he was really generous and kind, and I get to say some really nice things to him at his table. And so, yeah, just that meaningful connection was uh, super awesome. And I was the same age as he was on when he did Star Trek: The Next Generation, so I thought that was really awesome. And he is only a mere 10 months, little 10 months older than I am. Um, so yeah, just meeting him, I love him in the ready room. I love his narration of audiobooks, especially John Scalzi's works. And so yeah, I can, anything I can do to support him. I think he's just a really genuine and awesome guy. And so meeting someone like that, meeting like I guess one of your heroes, I guess I would say, um,
Wow.
it's just a cool experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's why it was such a great day. And then the bonus was meeting Doug Jones and getting a
Mm-hmm. In
selfie and
person.
whatnot in person.
Right.
So yeah, um, so yeah, it was a great day. So anyway,
It was
that's
cold though. It was like that was my overall complaint about the trip in Chicago in general. That it's cold, it was dreary, it snowed one day. I was like, why is this happening? And we didn't want
yeah,
to go
yeah,
outside too much. That was like the only thing.
yeah. We didn't.
It was
The
like
convention center
that. It was like
was
that
far
or
away.
Vegas where it's like 110 degrees. I'm like, why does it need to be such extremes? And then
Sure,
I'm sure
yeah,
Seattle
exactly.
next year is going to be also terrible, but whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Seattle's not going to be great weather. It's also Memorial Day weekend, so maybe it'll be all right though.
Maybe.
Memorial Day is, you know. So yeah, so that was Saturday. That was Friday,
That
not
was
Saturday.
Friday.
Saturday we started out with some coffee, but then got to see Lower Decks,
The
which was
yes, lower
really
deck panelist
cool.
first, which is great. It was good. I love the cast. I thought that even though one of the things that they talked about is that they don't really get to work together because they all are doing their audio recording in booths or whatever. I thought they had great banter. It was just, they were all funny. They like each other, which is always positive. And it was
They
just a
were
very
dressed up in
light.
their costumes.
Oh, right. That was cool that they all basically came in cosplay. That was awesome. And
Yeah,
they just
they
like,
were introduced that way as a crew. It was kind of funny because
right, not the cast, but the
the
crew.
moderator, yeah, the moderator was like, the cat they couldn't make it, the cast couldn't make it, and I was like, I just saw a pitch, I don't know if I said it to you. I thought it. I was like, I just saw a photo on Instagram that they were out drinking last night in
Uh,
Chicago, so
no, you did
that's
not
not
say that to
exactly
me.
true.
It was a quick joke. He didn't leave us hanging for too long.
No, yeah, no,
But
and
no, it
so
was
yeah.
great. And they're just all enthusiastic, and obviously, I mean, it's nice also that you can tell some of them are true Star Trek fans. That's always helpful because sometimes, like you have these cast members that are obviously not Trek fans and they're just there to act, which is fine. That's fine. But it's great when they're Star Trek fans, they play off each other well, and and I just love that Tony, Tawny Newsome, that's her name. I love that Tawny Newsome is just such a Star Trek geek and she loves DS9. And of course, when they're asked, "Oh, who's a one Star Trek character that you would love to bring with you to a deserted island?" she says Kai Wynn, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
of course, Kai
She's
Wynn. Thank you
well,
very
it
much.
was you were if you were exploring the universe and you were dropped on a class M planet with very little resources, who would you pick
Oh, okay,
to
it
take
was like
with
basically
you?
the deserted island question, but
Yeah, desert
Star
island,
Trek
but
vibe.
it was a class M planet that was not necessarily inhospitable, but it wasn't also a paradise. And she said, "Well, Kai Wynn, because you need to bring some evil,
Yeah, that
because
was
I feel
great.
like evil gets some things done or whatever."
That was great.
So yeah, she's hilarious. Yeah, they're such a good cast. You're right. They're fans. Mike McMahon is obviously a
Obviously,
huge
a
fan.
fan.
Has been for
Yeah,
a long, long time.
and Mike Mann's just funny, and his
So
very just you can tell he's just enthusiastic. I like his energy. And yes, they showed us,
yeah,
as we mentioned, they showed us a scene. They yeah, they it was like, no, they showed us the wasn't the intro? No, what was it? It was just like the one scene of them playing a game together or something. And we got like a
yeah, they
Martok
were
cameo.
playing basically Dungeons and Dragons, but the Klingon version with
It was a board
Gorkon.
game. It was a board game,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we got a Martok cameo, which is nice.
yeah, Martok, and yeah, that was cool. And then they did show us before that, I think, the teaser, which is now out on the internet, about how it seems like in the opener, the Lower Decks is gonna steal the Cerritos and go save Captain Freeman.
Right.
So, which I think is really cool because the Cerritos is in some dry dock in
Yeah, it's basically
off
in
an
dry dock.
asteroid or something, just with, and it looked like it was just sitting there, like no work was being done on it. It was just hanging out in this dry dock. But yeah, so it's all voiceovers, nothing seen. The only thing that was shown was Cerritos.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool that they are gonna potentially steal the Cerritos to go save Captain Freeman. So
Yes, it's very Search for Spock.
yeah, and I was trying to, as they were showing the other scene, they showed us they showed us the cold open and then showed us the opening credits, and I didn't notice anything. I
I
was
didn't notice
looking
anything
for,
different.
I didn't see anything. Well, so they kept on. Oh, the first two seasons they added some stuff to the Klingon, to the Romulan.
Minor edits.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else there, but that we haven't seen yet. But yeah, so yeah, they're just a funny, fun crew, and um, yeah, they had really long lines for autographs and photos and whatnot, which was great to see. And on Sunday, Tani sang with, as we were leaving, Tani sang with 5 Year Mission.
Right.
which is really cool on stage. Um, so yeah, she's a fan. She's very talented. She can sing, she can improv, she can act. It's just
And she
awesome.
knows
She's
Star
just
Trek,
all
which
around
is
cool,
always nice.
and she knows Star Trek. Yeah. So Jack Quaid, Noel Wells, and number one himself. I can't. Jerry
Joe
O'Connell
O'Connell.
was there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I said. So that was fun. And then the big one of the day. So we took a lunch and then came back for Strange New Worlds, which is the one thing that we were most looking forward to, I think.
Yes. That was a good panel. But the problem was they couldn't talk about too many things. It was just like very, very evasive,
Yeah, of
which
course
is
not.
expected. And they did show us one scene of it's the first bridge scene, and it was good. It was a nice scene. It was quick, but it was nice to kind of just see the bridge
It
and see the
was.
cast and the crew.
Yeah. And the way that so they were, Pike and Spock were coming up in the turbo lift,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about the first officer. So number one is not there during this first bridge scene.
Right.
Don't know where she is,
But they were like, "Don't
she's
worry,
not
she's in
there.
the scenes. She's in the show." We're like, "Okay, got it."
Yes, yes. Yeah, Anson was like, she's in the show. And we've seen other clips of her, so we know that. But it was kind of funny because the person that I least expected, Lan Noonien Singh, was going to be his first officer in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting. Uh, yeah, but the bridge looks amazing. It looks even better than it did in Discovery.
Yeah, they
They
tweaked it a
definitely
little bit.
redesigned it a little bit since
Mm-hmm.
Discovery. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
but the thing is, it's
which is
definitely
awesome.
one thing that they talked about a little bit, which I definitely think is appropriate for Stranger Worlds, is they are going back to some of the more primary colors of TOS and really making that pop. Because Discovery has a very blue hue to everything. Everything has this blue tint to it, including the bridge scenes and the Enterprise and everything. And Picard also has this like Picard has more of an orangey kind of like reddish tint hue like that they always gravitate towards. This I
Well, the
feel like they
darker
really
like
made
browns and reds.
browns, yeah, browns, reds. That tends to be very Picard. But I really liked how so of what we've seen so far, they really just kind of made Strange New Worlds a little more vibrant in terms of like the primary colors and kind of just like those pop. So I appreciate that. And you can see that on the bridge for sure.
Yeah, for sure. They got some redesigned uniforms, and yeah,
And so Matt looks great.
yeah, Anson Mount looks excellent. Yes, Hello Daddy. Um, he
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Um,
That was a good panel. And
yeah,
they
and they
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 also played
let
well
and
off
I'm
each other as well.
yeah, they did. They were a bit. They sort of took a little bit of a back seat, and I am trying to find her name and I can't, which is ridiculous. But they sort of let the woman who's playing Cadet Ahura take
I
the
don't remember her name
lead
either.
on.
It's
Yeah,
taking
so
a
I'm
long
trying
time
to
to find
find it,
it.
and Celia sounds familiar, right?
I don't know.
Um, Celia Rose Gooding. There we go. Look at that. I was right.
All right.
So they did let Celia kind of take the lead on the panel a lot. She got a lot of the questions, which I thought was great because we've seen like number one and Pike and Spock kind of talk um, on other stages together,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and so I think it was really nice for them to give her kind of a shot
Yeah.
at
No,
this.
it was really nice. And she was
I'm
very
surprised
excited
that
to be there.
more. Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess so. It was nice that yeah they had all of the four of them there. No other cast members, but they're all up shooting basically. So everyone kind of flew down for this convention.
Yeah, they're
Anson
shooting season
flew
2 right
in.
now.
Yeah, and Rebecca Romaine did not do any photos or anything. She was just on stage, um, along with Anson and Ethan, and Celia. But Celia, Anson, and Ethan were doing autographs. They decided
Okay.
not to do photos. They did stop. They did not do the photos that
Oh,
they
okay.
originally planned to,
Huh.
because they were filming. So, yeah, I thought that was the best panel of the weekend. To be honest, I think that's the one that everyone is most excited about. I'm definitely excited about it. I can't wait to see this show. And yeah, so there's that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did we do anything else that day
Yeah.
on
We
Saturday?
also got we went to the Kate Morgul panel.
Oh yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
Kate Mulgrew is great. Yeah, it was a spotlight on her alone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, she did a great job. She did a great job the next day on the Prodigy panel as well. But
Was Saturday
yeah.
also Discovery?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. It was. Yes, it was. Yep.
Discovery panel was whatever. I fell asleep. It was like there was nothing new to talk about. It's basically like just a quick overview of the season, and then they went into Q&A, and I didn't think it was that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
I was like, we're missing one. I was
Yeah.
like, we're missing a panel because there were 3 show panels on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and going
Yeah.
back
There
to
were three
the Kate
panels on
Mulgrew panel, I
Saturday.
actually really like that panel. I don't think either of us were expecting too much out of it, and we went, and it was great. Like she did, it was kind of centered around her book reading, but that was really just like 10 minutes. It really wasn't a big deal at the end. It was mostly just honestly, I really liked
Right.
just her reminiscing about Voyager. She talked a little about Prodigy, and she's just very clever and witty and honest, which I really liked. And she just did a great
Yeah.
job during the Q&A. Like she just gave like really honest answers to people. And like she's not like Doug Jones or Will Wheaton. She's not warm or anything, but actually really like how just like straightforward and blunt she's very blunt, which that's me. Like I really like just how blunt she is, and she has a lot of wisdom too. She has a lot of advice to share, like a lot of life lessons to share, and I actually really like
I
that.
agree. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Thought she looked gorgeous.
She looked great.
She
Yeah,
looked amazing, and yeah, it was yeah, that was a fun, unexpected panel that we
she's
saw.
really funny. I didn't expect that. She's really, really. She has this like dry humor, but it's like hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, she's got great stage presence, and she's got that pause. She takes that pause and lets the joke or the thing seep in, or she
Yeah,
waits to respond. Like it's just she just time her timing is just perfect.
yeah, and she's
Uh,
very just thoughtful, which I really appreciate.
yeah, yeah. And going back to
And
the
she remembers
Discovery
the
Channel,
episode. She
yeah.
like remembers
Oh,
the episodes really well. Like she'll be able
oh
to
yeah.
talk in detail. Like someone was like, one of the best questions was like, someone was like, I want to know once and for all, did Captain Janeway murder Tuvix? That was so great. And of course, she knew exactly
That
what
was,
she was talking about. I don't know.
of course,
I
yeah.
just really enjoy that she knows her show, she knows the mythology, and she knows her fans. So
Yeah, definitely. Um, but to go back to the Discovery Panel briefly,
briefly,
they did a nice job. David Ajala did some nice things. The one thing, the one moving part of that panel, I don't know if you were awake for this or not, but someone came up to him and said, or came up to the microphone and said to David Ajala, your character helped me
through
move
grief or
on
something,
from the
right?
yeah, move on through the grief of losing my best friend.
Yeah, yeah.
And well,
I was unmoved.
not surprising.
I
But
was
I was
awake though.
moved, and I was moved, and I was moved by the fact that he jumped down from the stage, and went and gave this guy a hug.
Yes, I saw
Like a
that.
serious hug. Like
Mm-hmm.
this wasn't like a pat on the back. Like he held the guy for like 30 seconds. It was really touching, and so that was a cool part of that episode, that panel.
Yes,
And
touching.
one of the other things that I really appreciated was something that Anthony Rapp said, about how he's been learning from Blue and Ian,
Uh-huh.
just about what representation means, now in these days, and how representation and being visible is crucial, if not,
Mm.
in a, not just necessary. It's crucial and needed and must happen. It's not negotiable. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was really a powerful thing. One that he's learning. He's been very vocal about learning more, and um, so I thought that was really cool for him to say. And this revolved around a question about, what causes did the cast support outside of their kind of
Right,
work.
right. I remember
And
correctly.
Ian shared that they supported. I wish I could remember the exact name, and I'll try to look it up. But
Yeah, I don't remember the
um,
name. It was for something or other.
it was for getting. It was basically a fund to help trans people who don't feel safe going through public transit,
Yes, yes,
getting
and helping them
Uber
with Ubers
rides.
or whatever.
Yes, it covers their rides home so that they're safe. And I thought that's a really, like, um,
It's very practical.
just crucial, but really, like,
Mhm.
actionable thing.
Right.
It's not like you're giving to something that, doesn't, you don't see very much of. This is something that helps people every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I thought that was really, really great.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
So yeah, and then so that was our day, and then we went to dinner. We went to dinner with with our sci-fi sisters, and some of their friends, and
Yeah, that's nice.
we had a really good Chinese dinner. I
Yes,
thought.
it was
I
a
thought it
trick. It
was
was a tricky order, which only partially succeeded, but
it
it all
mostly
was fine.
succeeded. It did not. There was just one little thing, and
Yeah, it was
um,
fine. It was fine.
it was fine. It all turned out
And then we
fine,
hung
but
out. We went back to the hotel and hung out a little bit. And
yes, yeah.
yeah, it's good. It's nice.
Oh, and I didn't even tell you part of Friday's thing was that we met Bill and Dan for the first time in person ever,
Oh, that's right.
which was
Correct.
really cool. Really cool to meet Bill and Dan in person, our executive producers who we'd only met through Zoom during the
Correct.
pandemic.
Correct.
And they had not, they didn't make it to Vegas, and because there was a surge, and they decided to stay home. And yeah, so it was great to meet them. We got to see Mike and Jamie from the Divine Treasury, and we got to meet Mike's daughter Emily from Discovering Trek Prodigy. So it's really cool to meet all the. We met Andy Fark from 5 Year Mission. We met Ron Roble from ConPod. Um, who else did we meet? We met Matt. I cannot remember his last name
From the Great
from
Link.
the first link.
The
I
first
think
link, not
from
the
the
Great Link.
first
I don't know. I don't even know his
the
podcast.
first link. Yes.
I should probably know his podcast, but oh
Um,
well.
you should probably Matthew from the with the first linker. Yes, I think.
Correct.
Slack's not open, so I'm not going to. So yeah, so we got to meet a bunch of. We met Matthew on Saturday night after we came back and hung out with people in the bar, which the bar closed ridiculously early, unnecessarily early. So
It was like
that would be the only
11. It was like
downside.
11 ish.
Yeah, it was at 11 on a Saturday night they were closing, which is ridiculous.
I was okay. I
So
was like, I'm ready to go. So it
I,
was fine. I didn't
yes,
mind it
I
that
understand
much.
you were.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Sunday we got up. It was the last day of the con, and we got to go to Prodigy, which was first.
Uh huh. Which is good. Prodigy was good too. That was a good panel.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we saw an opening scene with Chakotay. It was actually a holodeck
Correct.
of the time when
It was the commissioning
Janeway
of the protostar.
of the protostar. Yes,
Yes, and you get a nice scene between Janeway and Chakotay.
Yes, and then she pauses it, and
the real Janeway pauses it.
Yes, the real Vice Admiral Janeway, who's looking for Chakotay, pauses it. Yes, and so yeah.
Yeah, I like that panel as well. Definitely in big part due to Kate Mulgrew's presence, but I also like the fact that for the Q&A portion, there were a number of kids that just asked questions. Some of them were very funny questions, and I did not realize how popular Murph is. Apparently, that is
yes.
That is the most popular character. And it was really funny because Kate Mulgrew specifically asked one of the kids that came up to the microphone, who is of, because she was like digging, right? She was like, of the characters that have speaking roles, which is your favorite? And then the kid was still like, Murph. It was really amazing. I just love that. I had no idea that Murph was so popular. But apparently, it is a fan favorite.
And we were eating lunch, and the kid from Saturday's panel, who was up on stage dancing, I think,
right?
He was there, and we asked him who his favorite character was, and it was also Murph.
Of course.
So,
yes. We didn't mention on Friday I ran into a childhood friend, someone that I knew from grade school, David Fanko. Shout out to David Fanko from Staten Island, New York. And I literally have known this guy since second grade, and we've lost touch since then. We went to the same grade school, junior high, and high school. It was just really funny. And after high school, we lost touch because we went our separate ways. But yeah, he was there with his kid, Oliver, I think was his name.
Yes, Oliver. That's his name.
Yeah, Oliver was also a Murph fan. So whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, the people have spoken apparently. So that was funny. But yeah, that was a good panel. I think I'm, as some of our listeners may or may not know, I'm not a fan of children at all. I don't need them in my life. I don't need them near me. I don't usually like them in media. I don't like seeing them in general. But it was nice to see these kids really just like Star Trek, and they really get a kick out of it. And that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice to see the next generation of viewers,
nerds,
all ages. Yeah, of all ages. So, yeah, it was a really good panel, and we didn't really, it's interesting. There's a hint that, the kids have to run from Janeway, who's searching for Chakotay, and so that's part of the plot of the next 10 episodes, I guess, is that they're running from Janeway. So, yeah. That was
the most uncomfortable part of that panel, though, was that you had this actor on stage dressed up as doll costume. Yes. It was they did it for the kids, but it was just kind of awkward. It was because he couldn't speak.
Well, because he couldn't speak, right?
And literally at one point, Jane was like, "Can you please back up?" Because she was trying to speak to other panelists, and she was like, "Can you sit back?" It was just funny and awkward.
Yeah,
so
yeah, there was they made an extra room for him, but
yeah. I was like, why are we here? Why is he here? Whatever, it was fine. And then we had lunch, and then the last panel was Picard, dead last. I was bored. I was like, there really wasn't anything I thought was particularly special about that panel, but personally, you probably got more out of it than I did.
Well, I mean, I loved the cast, but it was Michelle Hurd, Lisa Briones, Evan Evagora, and Annie Wersching.
Yes.
So, and in this case, they also did the same thing that sort of Strange New Worlds did, is that they let Annie have a lot of the spotlight, which I thought was great because the three of them had been on stage before. We had even seen them at Las Vegas, although Michelle Hurd had come in through Zoom, I think, for that part. But they told a lot of the same stories, which I'm sure some people in the audience had not heard before. We had, because we had seen them in Las Vegas. And there really wasn't much to talk about, except
there wasn't
for
much to talk about. They
performance.
talked about the Borg Queen. They talked about the current season. They obviously can talk about season 3. I wonder if they're all in season 3. And yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, there wasn't any teaser or anything because before we went to Chicago, we got a teaser on the internet introducing the fact that the original cast from Next Generation are joining
on Star Trek
Picard
Day. They decided to drop, which we did not talk about last week because we had recorded our episode right before Star Trek Day. But on Star Trek Day, they decided to drop the teaser for Picard season 3, and it was like, holy fucking shit! Like the whole TNG cast is coming back, and
yes,
I am moderately excited. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I'm excited, but I'm also wary because the first thing that came to my mind is this is amazing, but there's a 50% chance that they're gonna fuck it up. So, and they're like, oh, this is like, this is the send off that we can give to the TNG cast because obviously, a lot of people have poor opinions of Nemesis. And I'm like, all right, well, then they better not fuck it up, because this is their last chance, really.
It is their last chance, yeah. Patrick Stewart is not going to become Picard again.
No.
And
no, he needs to retire. He needs to retire.
So I'm excited about it too. They had little voices from each one of the actors.
Mm-hmm.
That was new. It was all new. And
we got confirmation that none of it's going to be like a cameo or anything like that. It's going to be they're legit going to have roles.
Yeah, they're getting the band back together again, as one would say. Yeah. So that's exciting. So you kind of wonder what's going to happen to our current cast.
I can go. Eleanor, I'm like, I don't care about you, bitch. It's fine if you come back or not. He's just such a non-presence to me. I don't really care. Issa Briones too. Like, she's fine, but I don't know. Like, like this season, we're going to talk about in a minute, but she's fine. She's serving a role this season, but it also, I could do without her. Like season 3, Picard's back, obviously, and I think the only ones I really want are Rafi and Seven, and maybe Chris. And then the other people, I'm like, I don't really care. So.
Well, you're missing
Jurati. Jurati. Oh but let's see what happens to Jurati in the finale. If she becomes like the Borg Queen, or she is the Borg Queen, I don't know if she's going to really fit into the story of season 3. We'll see.
Well, the story of season 3 might be the Borg. It might be a Borg whole season.
Maybe. That might be interesting. But yeah, that would be too much Borg. I don't know.
I mean,
TBD.
Once and for all,
however, this announcement does, like I've been kind of on board with this idea that season 2 might be a cliffhanger, and we might get like issues with time travel left over. I'm just not sure now with this. I'm kind of like, I don't know, because I don't want season 3 to be another time travel story. I don't think I need another season of time travel. But at the same time, I want to make sure that this is our prime timeline cast, like prime timeline crew, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want like an alt reality timeline. It needs to be like the family, the TNG family. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, they better. I'm not kidding you. They better not fuck this shit up. Like, I'll be so mad.
Well, you're going to be saying that for a year before we see the fruits of this, so we'll have to wait.
Well, some people are saying that it might actually be later this year. I don't know. That's very aggressive, but it's possible. I mean, they finished filming like a month ago, and they're already in post.
Yeah, they're in post.
A month or two ago, and they're definitely in post production.
Yeah, so. And the fact that Discovery is not even filming yet won't take its normal November.
I mean, if they push it, yeah, it's possible. Like 6 to 8 months. But we'll see. I don't know how they're planning to cadence their schedule.
We don't know what the schedule is going to look like. So, but anyway.
So, quick take. What was your highlight? It's obviously Friday meeting Will and Doug. That sounds like that was a highlight.
Yes,
favorite part.
And Doug, and that was by far my favorite part. I did like the teasers that we got, the little nuggets. I think I made it worthwhile. It's a little, that's those are my highlights. What about you? Do you have a highlight?
Yeah, I think Saturday was my highlight. Between the show panels that we got that were really strong and the Kate Mulgrew panel, that was my favorite day. There was a lot happening.
Oh yeah, and the one thing we didn't, I got to meet some people after the LGBTQ collective panel, so we're gonna have one of them on our podcast later this month. So I thought that was really cool to make a connection with someone on a panel there.
I didn't talk to anyone, but that's nice that you made the connection.
Yes. So
the more extroverted of the two of us.
Yes, I mean, I'm yes, I like people. Yes.
I can give her. I can take it or leave it.
You are literally 100-year-old man in a 40-year-old man's body.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I can take it or leave.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. That's right.
Yes. But yeah, so the panel. So you enjoyed the panels on Saturday. I think one of the things that I'm most disappointed with is the fact that Wilson Cruz was not invited.
I totally forgot about that. I know we complained about leading up to the panel, but then I literally forgot about it.
Yeah, I did not forget about it. Never forget. #never forget.
#never forget.
But yeah, that's the most disappointing thing. But I think by the end of it, I think he got invited at the last minute, and he had already had plans. He was in LA at Outfest, and already had plans, and good for him for sticking to his plans. But he was definitely missed. And I think that was probably the most disappointing part of the weekend for me, was not having him there. But it was also great meeting our fellow podcasters.
Yeah.
That was really cool, meeting the whole gang. We have a nice photo. I don't know if we posted it anywhere.
We posted it. I posted it on Instagram.
The whole
our group photo.
Yes. Oh, you did? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Relax. Oh my gosh. You're yes. Anyway. Cool. Well, let's so we've only watched Picard once, and yes, I am familiar with the yes, I am familiar with the picture. Thank you. So let's get into talking about Picard season 2's episode 6, 2 of 1.
You seem upset.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude, but I'd like to be alone, okay?
In my experience, when I'm distraught, I find talking about something else often helps.
Any suggestions, then?
Look up. Can you tell me about that ship?
OV-165 shuttle. I call her Spike because she's got these kick-ass aero spike engines that use less fuel. I don't mean any offense, but you seem a little up in years to be a security guard.
True. But I am the wisest of them all.
Bet you're thinking they let anyone be an astronaut these days.
Sometimes those who shine the brightest feel the sting of fear and melancholy in ways that others can never understand.
You're talking like you know me.
You're Rene Picard, astronaut of the Europa mission. You must be capable of such great things to have come this far.
And to be honest, both of us watched it on the plane ride out to Chicago on Thursday.
I don't think it was like the best viewing experience, but it was fine.
So that was the last time, and we've obviously had a lot of influx of Star Trek information into our heads. So we're gonna try to talk about this episode, but we've both only watched it once. So...
I know. I think I wish I watched it again, but I did not. So
yes, I did not either. So just maybe I'll read the description just to help us jog our memory here. With the help of Talon, Picard and the crew infiltrate a gala on the eve of the joint space mission to protect one of the astronauts they believe to be integral to the restoration of the timeline, Rene Picard. Corey makes a startling discovery about her father's work, which I would not have remembered had I not read that line. So
that was a major part of the episode.
Yeah,
that's where we left the episode.
Yeah, I don't, I remember it now, but I would not have remembered. Maybe we would have gotten there. Maybe we would have brought it up. But let's talk a little bit about the gala. We had some issues with the gala, parts of the gala.
I had issues with the whole episode. I mean, it was fine. I think the sentiment that we both had after watching the episode was like, it was fine. It inched some of the plot forward. It opened up new mysteries.
It did.
But there were just like in-universe issues I had with it. And it wasn't quite... last week I was saying like, I'm always up for like a heist episode or, like a heist movie.
It was not a heist episode.
It was not. It was like, I feel they kind of set it up as a heist and then it was kind of just lame. Like literally
it was a boring dinner party episode.
Jurati gets arrested on purpose and she is, the one good thing, the interactions between Jurati and the Borg Queen, I think were my favorite part of this episode. I think that's going to be like a through line for this whole season, Jurati and the Borg Queen. Thank God there's them because I don't know where the rest of it's going. But it, it was funny. Like she was like, Jurati was like locked up, like she was handcuffed to the chair and she's like trying to use her body weight to like move the chair forward. And the Borg Queen just sitting there. I was like, all right, bitch, do your thing. I can help you if you want, and then finally she lets the Borg Queen help her. And then she uses her fancy USB drive to kind of like override the system security or whatever. Yes. And then basically, the crew goes in and then most of them don't do anything. Like literally don't do anything. Seven is socializing with people. Rafi is mostly kind of just at the bar and hanging out, I guess, and like observing people. You had Chris, who at least follows Renee for a minute, like for just a moment, and then kind of like lose track of her. I don't quite remember what happened, and he was also like commenting about how the 21st century is kind of cool because he's fallen in love with someone or whatever. I mean, like most of them just don't do anything. I'm like, why are they all there if they don't have roles or if they're not even going to be, because Seven's already like drinking wine, like laughing at people. I'm like, are you doing your job?
Which is all she did during this episode. She didn't do anything. She didn't say anything. She may have said 5 words whole episode.
She looked great. She had this awesome like aquamarine dress on. It looked fabulous. Everyone looked good, at least. So at least you get the usually cool outfits that people who are in heist mode get. But literally, like I was like, yeah, where are you guys? What's the plan? There's no plan. It was just kind of like, eh.
Well, and Picard was talking to Talon just about interfering and not interfering, and so there was that piece of it,
right?
And So, she's never interfered.
Oh, and one good moment is because he's about to interfere, and then he runs into Adam Sung. That was good.
Oh, that was good. You're right.
Yeah, that was a good moment because you see the shock on Picard's face.
Yeah, the fact that he remembered, or that because he said we know each other, and Picard was floored by this.
Right.
Absolutely floored.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely threw him off his stride. He did not know what was going on. Could not. Yes, it was very disconcerting for him.
Yes,
and
he played it well.
He played it really well.
Really well.
Because yes. So there's that. Yeah, I think that was one of the best parts of this episode was that scene.
Yeah. But then it was weird because, all right, so Adam Sung obviously inserts himself into Gaza. I don't know what this foundation is. Europe mission, whatever, by donating huge chunks of money.
Yes.
And the only thing he really does is tries to get Picard kicked out, which doesn't really work because we'll talk about it in a minute. And then he just decides just to, run Renee over. I'm kind of like, wait, it goes from like trying to prevent Picard from interfering to running Renee over. I'm like, could he have used his his influence in some other way to like get her off the mission? Maybe Q would have been like, oh, leak her audio files or what, of her sessions or something. Maybe that can smart, maybe leak their sessions and show how unstable Renee is. And that could have gotten her kicked off the mission. That wouldn't smart. No, instead Edmundson tries to run this woman over. I'm like, is that the best way for this to all work?
Well, that was after, what I think was a very nice scene between Renee and Patrick Stewart, Picard.
Yes, that was
Picard and Picard.
Yes. He solved all her problems in 30 seconds.
It was more like 3 minutes, and it wasn't solving her problems. It
was not 3 minutes. It was like max like 2 minutes.
Okay, whatever. However long it was, whatever it was just the pep talk that she needed to realize that her problems are worth overcoming and finding that the self-worth that she needed to continue in this mission. So
yes, it was a good pep talk.
It was a good conversation. It was sort of like literally a grandfather speaking to his granddaughter, in reverse, if you can imagine that.
I liked how he
giving her the pep talk that she needed,
and like about how fear is something that makes us. I don't remember the exact words that he said. It was something that we can learn from, or something like that. Blah blah blah. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it's more of a guide than something to run away from.
Right, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really nice. A nice little scene between the two of them because it was Jean-Luc and Renee. It wasn't, there wasn't anything else, and he didn't interfere in a way that was overt. Right. So he didn't affect the timeline in that sense. He was dressed like a security guard, so it was kind of like this grandfatherly security guard. Can
we talk about how everyone is converging on Jean-Luc, and then Jurati distracts everyone with her musical number, and then suddenly it's like, oh, let's give you like this little ID badge, and you're good, and everyone forgets about.
Yeah. Well, so Rios had been following Renee, so he knew where Renee was.
Right.
So he went to meet her after they got out of this situation where Adam Sung was going to have them removed from the party because of all of that,
and all the exits were blocked off. But then
all the exits were blocked off, and then suddenly the lights went out thanks to the Borg Queen, and then suddenly there's a spotlight on Jurati, and she sings this song, which the band miraculously starts playing the music to.
It makes no sense. It really,
no, it does not.
It totally took me out of the show because I was like, this is like La La Land. Like I told you, I was like surprised that everyone didn't start dancing like in sync with the musical number. It was it was literally a musical moment. Like literally the spotlight's on her, all the lights are out, though some of the the spotlight's on, and the band knows exactly what to play. It's just like very like silly Hollywood, a very silly Hollywood moment that does not fit in the universe of the show. Right. You know, it was very distracting.
Totally, yeah. It was.
I mean, she's a good singer. I'll give her.
She's
I'll give her that. But
yeah, no, she did a wonderful job with it, and in the end, it was all a ploy by the Borg Queen to take control of her body because she needed the stress hormones to go away and the endorphins to come in and take over.
So let's go back to that in a second, because I want to go back to not that we jump around or anything. But it never happens.
No, not at all. No, we're doing this in a very linear fashion.
Yeah, it's very linear. Going back to the Renee and Jean-Luc conversation, I think while I liked the conversation, and yes, I thought that Patrick Stewart did a great job kind of giving this very warm, just a warm, caring sense that, you know, this is a pep talk that will hopefully help this woman. It just also bugged me because it was like literally it was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and you know, it kind of reverses Renee's course. But the thing is that when we are kind of introduced Renee an episode ago, and we kind of see when Talon's kind of talking about Renee's problems, I feel there's more to. It's not just like she's afraid of the mission. She has deeper issues. Like she's like suffering from. Talon gave the impression that she's suffering from depression, maybe a little. And we also get these like flashbacks to Renee like in the cockpit, and she seems to be like a little bit of like. I don't know. It's not like PTSD, but it's like very like, you know, she's having these like flashes, right, of like failure, and there seems to be like deeper
very stressful. Yeah, it's a very.
But there seems to be like Talon gave the impression that she has like deeper set issues than just she's a little, you know, worried about the mission, she's afraid. She gave the impression
she's battling depression. She's battled depression in her life and probably some anxiety disorder of some sort.
So there's like bigger issues at hand. Yeah. And I feel that while the conversation was great and the pep talk was great, it doesn't really, I don't know, you know, maybe we'll go back to it and maybe there'll be more, but I feel it was kind of just like very, you know, nip in the bud. Like, thanks for the pep talk, old man. I'm ready. Like, I don't know. And Star Trek has done this before. I mean, we talked about this in Discovery where, you know, as you recall, like, I think Discovery actually did it better where Tilly, you know, she was kind of feeling at the beginning of season 4, she was kind of feeling lost. She wasn't sure what her path was. And it took a little bit of time to kind of get her to a place where she was like, yeah, I need to change course. You know, the course I'm on is not where I should be, what I should be on. I'm on it because I was raised by my mom to like think about a certain way. Like we dived a little bit deeper into like Tilly's issues and why she was feeling this malaise, right? And I really liked that. That was one of the highlights about season 4 that we actually didn't talk about much, but that was one of the highlights of season 4. We just forgot about it because the rest of the season was so terrible. But you know, here I don't like it when you're presented with this like very complex problem, like anxiety, depression, right? And then it's like, all good, fixed. Again, maybe we'll get more. I just thought it was too quick to solve.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's a little bit of missing from that. I think also the fact that we haven't really addressed is that, you know, Q as her therapist has been actively manipulating and undermining her. So there's that piece of it as well. You know, I think that...
Well, Talon made it sound like it's like she's had a hard life too, right? Remember? Like, I don't remember the exact words.
Yeah, but she made it sound like
she's had it hard.
But she's always been successful, ultimately. Like, she's always gotten through it. So I think that that's also part of it, is that you kind of have to piece... Once you've gotten through it once, you can sort of get it through again. And yeah, we kind of see all the negative side of what Renee is going through and not, you know, probably some excitement around this mission, some anticipation about this mission that's positive, because her therapist has been actively undermining her. And so I think, yes, I agree that maybe Picard, Jean-Luc's little speech didn't overcome all of the negative stuff that Q had been putting in her head. But I also want to say that Renee is probably
it's hard to say where
person.
Q ends and Renee begins, right? Like, I mean, we don't know enough. We're just going off of what Talon said. But I just don't think that like a 2-minute pep talk is going to.
Talon was also showing, she's been watching these sessions, so she's kind of seen her through all of this. It's not like she's, it's all stuff she's observed. So I think that it's, it's sort of factual, but ultimately Renee has gotten through all of this and become very successful, to the point where she's just training. She's now training for this mission. She's not on this mission already. It's just the training that's like high pressure, and they keep on throwing her these sort of Kobayashi Maru scenarios where you can't win. They're not, I don't think that from the couple of times that you see this scenario, I don't think that there's a way she can win it. Like, I think
we only saw it once. We only saw her in the cockpit one time. I mean, like, I don't know. Obviously, we have very limited information to go off of. I just personally did not. I know what you're saying. I just personally didn't really buy that, like, a quick pep talk from a stranger is going to fix all your problems.
Yeah, no, there's some questions there, certainly. Yeah,
but
so. They're walking. So we've got two other things to talk about. We've got
only two.
We talked about a little bit. Well, I mean, two other things that are around this, right? We have the Jurati performance, which I guess we've done enough about.
One thing that I thought was interesting at the beginning of sorry, I can't speak. At the beginning of the episode was because we get a glimpse into Jurati's mindset post kind of letting the Borg Queen in. And I thought that was interesting because, I know we debated about this last week when it comes to Jurati and what was her mindset when she kind of let the Borg Queen, touch her and basically like not assimilate her, but kind of let her in, right? At the beginning of this episode, I got the sense that, and I'm interested to hear what you think, I got the sense that Jurati did on purpose because she needed to preserve the Borg Queen so that they can get her home. Because she was like, yeah, I'm only not getting rid of you because we need you to get home. So she purposely kind of, in my mind, that's like her saying that she did on purpose, but that she also felt that she was under control, but that she also kind of enjoyed having the Borg Queen there. Like I feel there were like, it's a very mixed bag of emotions, but it's like, she let it happen. Like there's a reluctance there, but at the same time, she's glad that she did it. And she has the sense that, yes, she has control of the situation, but there's also this like liberation of like the Borg Queen kind of like pushing her into these kind of like more thrilling situations, which she, I think that she liked it. So I thought that was interesting, like just kind of exploring her mindset.
And what were you curious about that I thought about? Which part?
No, I was curious about what you thought about, her mindset and her also just other than the performance, like her interactions with the Borg Queen.
Yeah, it's I don't know what quite to make out of it, to be honest. I'm kind of I think that I think that the Queen has gotten into her head, not she obviously physically now, but I think she got into her head early on with all the little comments about being like alone in all the timelines and whatnot and all that stuff. So I think that there's that longing to feel connected. I think it's something that she struggled with throughout her whole life. So it's, this isn't anything new. So I think that there's some need for this connection that she thinks that the Queen is going to get. But I also think that she thinks she's strong enough to handle having the Queen in her head, which is why she does all of that, and kind of does all that, or is temporarily mesmerized by the Queen, and the Queen injects herself into Jurati. I think it's interesting now. So the Queen is in command now of her body, and so in this next episode, they're going to go searching for her, as we kind of see in the scene in the preview. But yeah, I'm curious what this means long term for her, and whether they're going to be able to separate her out or not. It's not like Locutus's thing where a lot of he had the voices of the Borg in his head, but all the implants have been removed. So it's there's no implants or whatever she injected into her is.
Well, there's probably some nanites or whatever.
Yeah. So it's just I'm curious what this whether it's even going to be possible to separate them down the line. Again, I think that we're pretty much sold on the fact that the Queen from episode 1, who beams over to the Stargazer, is going to be revealed to be Jurati. And I do still feel like we're going to get a cliffhanger from that. I think that that's going to lead into season 3, but we'll see. They still have to get back to that without, that whole piece. But
I know.
So I don't know. I'm actually really enjoying Jurati's journey this season. Other than seeing her end,
it's my favorite. It is my favorite subplot.
I mean, I'm enjoying this Raffi 7 piece, which was definitely pushed aside for the most part, except for Rios's and Raffi's conversation at the bar. It was good to see Raffi not drink, though. She made a choice not to drink.
Right.
So even though she's
club soda
with all this club soda, and she saw Elnor again, so she's definitely still dealing with that, which of course she's going to be. So there's all of that going on, and then the last part of this episode is twofold. One, it's Adam Sung running down Picard, which causes them to take him to not the hospital but to Teresa. Right. So we get Teresa back again, and then
one thing that's directly connected to that, I wasn't entirely a fan of the framing device of the episode, which was Picard being run over, and then it's 24 minutes earlier. I'm like, all right, it's just he's not gonna die. There's no stakes in it. And we literally a day before got a glimpse of season 3 where he's fine. It's just it's trying to set up these stakes, but I don't really. As a viewer, I didn't really buy it. I don't know if it added anything to the plot in the way that the story unfolded.
It's a storytelling device, really. It's not, rather than telling it linearly,
yes.
Linearly, they told it in this kind of flashback.
It just wasn't, the problem is usually when you do that, it's something really high stakes. It's just this wasn't very high stakes because
I think
he's going to be fine.
Well, yes, eventually, but I also think that the other stakes are that the Borg Queen is in control of Jurati.
No, but I'm just talking about him lying on the floor, blood coming out of his mouth.
Sure.
I was 14 minutes earlier. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean it's yeah.
No, there are other stakes in the mix for sure, but
there are.
Jean-Luc Picard dying is not one of my concerns for this season. We'll see if he survives season 3. I don't know, but
right. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah.
But yes, going back to Dr. Teresa.
Yes, they went. So part of it is that, and then we go back to Adam Sung coming home and Corey asking. He's clearly either inebriated. He is either that or he's traumatized by what he's done. How far he's gone to make this all happen, and he's kind of going insane, which he others would say he's already insane, but So there's that piece of it. Where was I going with this? But then then Corey goes and learns, because he leaks out just enough information that makes her wonder what, like, he's nonsensical to her. And so she kind of goes looking for more information, because I think he said something to the effect of, "You're the last one." And so that's sort of, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're the last one. So she goes and finds all these pictures of her, but not her, because she doesn't remember any of these photos being taken. So we uncover that, she's a clone of some sort or something like that. We don't know what exactly. It's still unclear what she is, but the other piece of this, though, is now the focus has become on Corey and Adam Sung. Obviously, Picard, where, Talon's going to go into his head and kind of help him out, figure out whatever's going on. But what's the other thing? Jurati's on the loose, so they've got to find Jurati.
Yes.
And there's one other like ball in the air. I forget this whole idea with, I guess, Teresa, and what's going to happen with Rios. Is Rios going to go back with them, or is he going to stay in this timeline?
Right.
And stay in this time. So I think that covers everybody, right? Yeah.
I think so.
It's a small cast. I think it's a small cast, but
yeah, I think
we didn't
next
see
episode...
Q this episode.
What?
We didn't see Q this episode, so we don't know. Oh, the other piece is that Renee has gone into
quarantine or something.
Quarantine, so she's secure in the mission. So that's sort of fixed, or what they think is fixed. So
we'll see. I don't, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I think next episode we're going to get our deep dive into Picard's background and childhood, and we'll finally learn more about what's going on with these flashbacks we've been getting all season.
Yeah.
Still waiting for the grander plan here, and what lesson what lesson Q is trying to teach Picard, what's at stake for Q. Like, that's still, we don't know what the deal with that is. Again, I hope that's not all. I hope we don't wait until episode 10 to reveal all of that. It would just be a little annoying, because we still need to go back to the future and deal and unveil the Borg Queen. Like, there's just, all those things that need to be unpacked. So
yeah, there's a lot kind of left hanging right now, and the Q storyline is definitely the piece that I am most interested in. Like, what is that going?
I was thinking about this. Like, what's interesting is, this is very reminiscent of, to me, it's very reminiscent of All Good Things, because Q is trying to teach Picard a lesson. There's a lot of time travel involved, and if you think about the structure of All Good Things, which, again, in my mind, is one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever, basically the grand plan is unveiled at the middle, like at the end of part 1, of, like, Q brings Picard back to 300 million BC, and he's like, and he makes Picard understand what the implications of his actions have been and what's at stake. And then you deal with it in the second half, and that's what made it so effective. Like, you don't wait until the very end. You unveil the plan, you unveil the structure of the story and what's at stake, and you deal with it. So I'm like, oh my God, we're episode 6, still don't know anything. It's still such a big mystery box. I just don't want, again, what has been very common with these serialized stories nowadays, where you're waiting until, like, episode 8, episode 9 to, like, show us your cards, So TBD.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow's episode will kind of move us forward much further than what this episode has kind of inched us forward. So we'll see. I mean, there's definitely a lot going on with Jurati and them trying to find her, and also what's going on with Picard. But does Q and Corey and Adam fit into this? I don't know. So we'll know tomorrow, I guess.
Adamson definitely has to fit into it somehow because in the alt future we see that statue of him. So there has to be something. But now the question is, how does that still connect with Renee and her mission, or is that kind of like a red herring of some sort?
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that it is the red herring. It is a red herring, and that the real issue is Adam Sung and Corey. So, but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, and I do feel like you. They are running out of time. Tomorrow's episode 7. That leaves 3 episodes left to wrap it up and get us back to 2401. So, I don't know. Let's hope that they can do it and do it well. But we'll see. So I think that wraps it up for this episode that we've only watched once. A lot of vagueness and some of what we were sharing, but I still think it's a strong season. I'm still enjoying it.
I mean, it's definitely better than season 1 by leagues for sure. Because I really did not like season 1. This one, at least, we're exploring these characters, doing a little more of them. I just don't want them to I have complaints, obviously. I have complaints about the season, but nothing like my complaints about season 1. So,
right,
it's all relative. I'm definitely enjoying the season more than season 1, at least.
Yes. All right. Well, there we go. 2 of 1 done.
Yeah. Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor, who we also saw in Chicago?
Yeah, we saw the guys from Fansets, the whole team, and I came home with a couple of Chicago exclusive pins that are soon to be available on their website. Right. But I got a Mission Chicago pin with the Chicago backdrop in it. And there are 2 others. There's one with the Enterprise D, and then there's a smaller one with just the Mission Chicago logo. And then as I reach to grab it, my pride and joy is this, which I just noticed it. It's the Enterprise A, actually. It's not the refit, but it looks like the refit. So, but this is the new 3-dimensional pin, magnetic pin / stand.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of pin.
It's awesome. It's not even a pin, I would say. It's more of a
pin. It's like a magnet. It's a magnet / stand.
It's a magnet / stand. So I have it standing, not because as I looked at the plaque, so it comes with the dedication plaque, and it is for the 1701A. My favorite is the refit of the original Enterprise, but they look the same. So. So this is a really nice pin. So it should be on fansets.com very soon. But we want to thank John and Lou and the whole team at Fansets. They had a whole crew there this past weekend. It was great to see them. They're great people. They're great small business, and they're the exclusive sponsor of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and of our show, Deep Space Pride. And so if you head on over to fansets.com, put in the code DSPride, you're going to get 10% off your order. Plus, if you're over $30, which this...
it's over $30. It's like $40 or something.
I think this Enterprise pin is $40. And the other pins, the Chicago pins, each one's a little bit different. I don't know what the prices are. They're not up on the website just yet, as it was a little, they were heading back and encountering some weather issues on their way back. But this is a gorgeous pin. I definitely recommend picking this up. Get 10% off of it and get it shipped to you free by going over to fansets.com and placing an order. And there are a ton more pins over there to check out. But we want to thank Fansets, John and Lou, and the whole gang for their support of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and Deep Space Pride.
Thanks, Fansets. Cool.
So, Johnson, why don't you tell our listeners how they can share their thoughts on Picard Season 2, or if they were at Mission Chicago, if they have any thoughts on that or anything else.
Yeah. Well, everyone can reach us on social media on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride, or you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com. And if you do reach out to us, we'll do our best. Mike will do his best to get back to you. And we would also love it if you enjoy this podcast and want to support us as a podcast. Leave us 4 or 5-star review. Hopefully 5. If not 5, then at least 4. Apparently we have a 1-star review on Apple Podcasts. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes, as you
So I was like, what?
With no comments. Well, that's fine.
But yes, we would love for you all, if you again enjoy this podcast, to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. And hopefully that will make us more popular. And we'll start earning money, and then we can just live off our riches and just talk about Star Trek all the time.
There we go. Yes, that unfortunately will not probably happen.
No.
In any timeline. Any timeline.
Mm-mm.
Unfortunately. But yeah. But we enjoy doing this, and we hope you enjoy listening to us. And thanks everybody for listening to us. We appreciate it, and we'll be back here next week to talk about more Star Trek.
Yes, more Star Trek. Cool.
And we're Thanks,
one thing we didn't talk about is...
Oh, man. Here we go.
So this Saturday, we were supposed to go to Mary Wiseman's play. That was a surprise. I had,
right.
So for our listeners, I had told Mike, block off your Saturday afternoon. And the surprise was to go see Mary Wiseman at her play that's playing in New York off Broadway at the Wedding, which has gotten amazing reviews. Mary Wiseman was apparently great in this play. And it was canceled. I found out during the convention. I got this email. I was like, wah, wah. It was canceled because of COVID. Like, apparently some of the cast members got COVID. And they canceled basically a block of performances, including the one that I had planned. And I spilled it. Mike had already kind of guessed that was probably what we were going to do. It was one of 2 guesses. And I spilled the beans to Mike. I let him know we were going to go see Mary Wiseman, but the play got canceled and I can't find any other openings. Fast forward 2 days. I looked again at Ticketmaster, and one performance had literally, it was 2 seats open in the first row.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was like, what? And I was like, Mike, are you free on the 24th? And yes, we're going to go see Mary Wiseman.
So the 24th or the 20th?
Next Saturday, whatever that is.
Next Saturday. 23rd.
23rd.
Sweet,
so we won't be reviewing at the Wedding our next episode, but we can talk about it very quickly on the episode after. Give her a review of Mary Wiseman in At the Wedding.
Yes. Maybe even get her to sign the playbook.
Sure, the playbook, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I love Mary Wiseman. She's great. She's so funny.
Yes.
She has great comedic timing. Another star. So
so it was her final scenes the final scenes in Discovery's finale were great with her and Dadmiral there.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yes, we miss her.
Yes, we miss her. Well, I was saying, I don't know who the Tilly replacement.
Oh yeah, we don't. We don't have a Tilly replacement, right?
I know. They kind of need that. They need someone. And I mentioned this to you, about repeat it to our listeners. They've set up Adira to be this smart, brilliant, awkward Tilly replacement, but Adira doesn't have Tilly's ability to see into the heart of things and speak truth. That was one great thing about Tilly. Right. In her awkwardness, she was very honest, and she was able to let people see, and her honesty allowed people to see the truth in the matter of things and to help them to realize something that they didn't before, because Tilly was able to speak that truth into their lives. And she was she was just so earnest, and she was kind of the heart of Discovery, in that way. Adira's great, but Adira's not that. And
No.
I don't know who is supposed to kind of replace Tilly's role in that. So
I don't know.
I think that's honestly one of the reasons why we didn't like the rest of the season either. That was other than the fact that it was slow. It was like kind of all over the place.
There was a lot.
There was a lot of reasons, but that was like
Tilly would have helped, but I don't think she would have saved the season.
No. But she was her absence contributed for sure.
Yes,
I would say
yes.
So
why we were so happy to see her in the finale, but yes, I don't think she could have saved it though all by herself.
Sure.
If she had, that would have been miraculous and wonderful. But
no, there were many issues.
But I am really curious why she was absent. I think this play was part of it, but I'm wondering if there's something else.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
It's I'm curious, just generally curious, but maybe she couldn't be away in Canada for that long.
I don't know. I have no idea. I know her life. Anyway,
I don't know either. But anyway,
we can ask her. We can ask her when we see her.
We can have her. We'll do it on the street interview with her after the play. There we go.
Oh my God.
Look forward to that in a couple of weeks. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.